Since the start of the apparitions, the faithful have been captivated and intrigued by the mysteries surrounding Medjugorje. The Virgin Mary selected Mirjana to receive unique insights about humanity's future among the visionaries. Mirjana has been revealing important information concerning three major events: the warning, the sign, and the chastisement, slowly and strangely. However, how did we find out about these remarkable messages? The Virgin Mary gave Mirjana 10 secrets during her apparitions, and they are supposed to be divulged to the world when the time is right. According to Mirjana, these occurrences are spiritual invitations to conversion and warnings rather than just prophecies. Every secret is kept under strict confidentiality and will only be revealed just before it occurs so that mankind has time to get ready. The warning has received special attention as it is a symbol that will awaken everyone's conscience and urge them to turn from their sins. Next, as concrete evidence of divine involvement, there will be a visible sign left on the apparition hill. Lastly, Mirjana alluded to chastisement, which stands for the event that people are most afraid of, a harsh judgment that would befall mankind if it rejects the call to conversion. The core of the Medjugorje apparitions is these three secrets, which Mirjana has decided to slowly unveil in light of her responsibilities and their significance to the future of the planet. The 10 secrets of the Virgin Mary of Medjugorje were revealed to Mirjana Dragicevic Saldo during the year of the first apparitions in 1981 and 1984. Mirjana continued to receive messages and see apparitions during this time, and the Virgin gave her mysteries at various points. Between 1982 and 1984, Mirjana received the first 7 secrets. The remaining 3 were eventually disclosed. As the day of its fulfillment approaches, Mirjana's mission is to reveal the truths to the world to ready mankind and persuade it to convert. Her goal and the message she is still spreading now have been greatly influenced by this period of time. The caution. The warning, a very significant and intense prophecy that inspires both hope and terror, is at the core of Medjugorje's message. What precisely is this warning, though? It is a sign from God that will awaken our consciences. It is a time for each of us to reflect on our lives and face our decisions. Imagine having a crystal clear understanding of your past activities and how they have impacted both your life and the lives of others. According to Mirjana, the warning is a soul-illuminating moment of truth when each person will recognize their spiritual situation. It is a profound chance for introspection as well as a magnificent manifestation. This warning is an encouragement to slow down and reevaluate our goals and beliefs in a society where we frequently fail to look within. Mirjana's statements emphasize the need of being ready for this event and the requirement of living more mindfully. However, why is this warning so important? Because in the end, it gives us the option to react with love and conversion, a chance to accept a more genuine and purposeful existence. It is a summons to hope as well as dread, a means of getting ready for a future that may be enlightened by heavenly love and kindness. The Medjugorje warning is characterized as a unique occurrence that will impact all of mankind, a gesture of kindness and compassion intended to jolt people back onto the correct course. The warning, according to Mirjana's insights, will come before more serious occurrences and mark a time when each person will have an epiphany. However, how can we identify it? A deep spiritual awareness will be necessary to recognize the warning. By then, every one of us will see our deeds and their effects with clarity and profundity. Every idea, decision, and deed will be revealed in their true light, much like when one looks into a mirror of the soul. Justifications or delusions won't be allowed, since the warning will be a direct, personal experience that fosters a feeling of a close relationship with God. Mirjana has made it clear that it won't be a publicly apparent physical event, but rather an inside reality that speaks to everyone's heart. Many people may have uneasiness at this time, but some can experience extraordinary tranquility. It will be essential to remain alert and sensitive in order to discern this invitation for introspection and change. A life spent in prayer and a never-ending quest for God is necessary to be ready for this warning. We won't be able to comprehend the significance of this message of love and caution in our lives and spiritual paths unless we are prepared to hear it. In this particular situation, the warning will serve as a guide toward a more genuine and meaningful existence, as well as a chance for us to make peace with God and ourselves. It will also be a sign of divine justice. The indicator. One of the most enigmatic and eagerly awaited parts of the revelations made to Mirjana Dragicevic is the symbol of Medjugorje. The sign that the Virgin Mary promised is a concrete indication of her love and presence for all people. However, what precisely is it, and how can we identify it? The revelations state that the sign will manifest as a visual miracle that everyone will be able to view while it is still on the apparition hill. According to Mirjana, it will be a sign that endures forever, a representation of divine truth that will stand by mankind through a period of intense uncertainty and spiritual turmoil. This sign will be a call to conversion, faith, and hope in addition to demonstrating the veracity of the Marian apparitions. As guidance for individuals looking for direction at a time of extreme uncertainty, the Virgin has promised that this sign will appear following the warning. Due to its distinct features and high visibility, the sign will be immediately recognized. It will be a sign that defies scientific explanation and have a significant impact on people. A fresh call to religion and an instant link with the holy will be felt by those who are fortunate enough to see it. This sign may appear in unexpected ways, like an amazing light, a holy symbol, or a fascinating natural occurrence that will send a strong and unambiguous message. The indication will have several, unquestionably important ramifications. First of all, it will have the capacity to increase many people's faith. This event may move those who previously harbored concerns about Christianity and force them to reevaluate their views. Many people's hearts will be touched by the spiritual tsunami of conversion that the indication will cause. Second, there will be more unity among Christians as a result of the sign. The appearance of this sign will have the ability to bring people together in a shared understanding of God's presence among us in a time when division appears to be the norm. Communities and religious groups may fortify their links and cooperate to advance love, peace, and understanding between people. We are unable to disregard the sign's possible risks, nevertheless. The Virgin Mary has sent a warning to anybody seeking to take advantage of the circumstances by misinterpreting the sign or trying to influence people's faith for their own gain. False interpretations and predictions run the risk of deviating people from the genuine message of love and conversion. Furthermore, the sign's emotional effect may cause individuals to respond differently from one another. Some may be profoundly moved and become believers, while others may respond fearfully or with doubt. It is important to keep in mind that faith is a personal decision and that not everyone would react the same way to an evident miracle. Lastly, it's critical to avoid making the mistake of elevating the sign itself to an idol. The Virgin Mary asks us to see behind the symbol and realize that our relationship with God on a personal level is what counts. The sign is a tool to help us get closer to Him, but it shouldn't be worshipped in and of itself. The reprimand, comprehending the anticipated penalty. One of the most terrifying and unnerving aspects of Mirjana's letters is the scolding, especially in light of the Medjugorje disclosures. Following the alert and the appearance of the sign, the prospect of a heavenly reprimand looms due to human actions. However, what does this chastisement actually imply, and how can we get ready for it? According to the revelations, the chastisement comes about as a result of humanity rejecting God's grace and message of conversion. It is more of a natural outcome of our decisions and deeds than it is a punishment from God. Chastisement becomes necessary if mankind remains in sin, despite being warned and given a sign, and ignores the call to conversion. It acts as a prompt to consider the effects of our choices and acts as a means of guiding humanity back toward morality. The disclosures imply that the punishment may take on several forms. Natural catastrophes, wars, economic downturns, or other calamities that put people's lives to the ultimate test might be its manifestation. Speaking of a great chastisement, the Virgin Mary may be referring to a natural disaster or a time of extreme suffering for all people. It is crucial, therefore, to view the chastisement as a chance for atonement and a return to God rather than as retaliation. The chastisement has a deep significance since it is God's way of reacting to humanity's disobedience, selfishness, and apathy. God's desire to see us return to Him, even if it means going through a difficult cleansing process, is a demonstration of His love. Facing such a situation makes us naturally fearful since it pushes us to recognize our fragility and state of affairs. This anxiety shouldn't, however, be incapacitating. Rather, it ought to inspire us to take stock of our lives and think about how we may make changes. The threat of punishment might act as a catalyst for us to reevaluate our decisions and our interactions with God and other people. Getting ready for the reprimand. Being ready for the chastisement is more than just being afraid of what will happen, it's about starting a real, deep conversion process. The Virgin Mary calls us to live intentionally, to pray, to show compassion, and to work toward finding peace with God and others. Adopting a lifestyle founded on Christian principles, such as forgiveness, humility, and compassion, is another aspect of preparation. Furthermore, communal solidarity is essential. Our common faith's power can carry us through the next difficulties. Taking part in church activities, praying together, and lending support to one another are all methods to tackle challenges head-on with bravery and commitment. To sum up, the reprimand serves as a reminder of both individual and group accountability. It is not only a punishment, rather, it is a chance for rebirth and development. The Virgin Mary calls us to a profound and significant transformation through the admonition, the sign, and the punishment. Being ready for chastisement is a journey toward liberation, faith, and a genuine connection with God rather than just a fearful act. We can only confront the future with hope and peace if we answer this invitation. The words of Medjugorje contain warnings, signs, and punishments that are very similar to biblical predictions. Indeed, the Bible often speaks of signs and occasions that summon people to repentance. For instance, Jesus himself cautions in the Gospels that signs would appear in the sky and on earth, and he calls on his disciples to be alert and prepared. Matthew 24 verses 29 to 31. The Old Testament also reiterates the notion of a divine warning as a call to conversion, with prophets frequently urging the people to turn back to God before trying times arise. Jeremiah 25 verses 4 to 6. The sign is a reference to biblical miraculous happenings, such as the cloud that led the Israelites in the desert, Exodus 13 verse 21, and it will be a material representation of divine presence. Furthermore, Israel's history is replete with instances of punishment as a result of disobedience, when the people paid a price for their deeds, Isaiah 24 verses 1 to 3. There is always a message of hope, though, despite how grave the warnings and these predictions are. Similar to biblical predictions, Medjugorje's disclosures provide a chance for spiritual regeneration. Every indicator points to the prospect of reconciliation, and every warning holds the potential for change. The Virgin Mary asks us to respond with faith and trust rather than allowing fear to overcome us. God's love is everlasting and is prepared to guide and pardon anybody who wants to come back to Him. Instead of being viewed as a burden, preparing for the future could be viewed as an opportunity to deepen our faith and create a society based on kindness and compassion. With this mindset, we may look forward to the future with hope because we know that God's light always shines and that His grace is adequate for everyone, even in the darkest circumstances.